Hey guys, what's up? What's up, folks? How are you guys doing today? We're live. What's up, Suey? Joel, African Shipping, Macmillan. Macmillan is always, yeah, he's always coming over to my live streams. Hello, Felicia. Hello. Danny, Hood, please. Sure. Aisha, what's up, folks? There you go. So everything is okay with my audio. And what a wild trading session, guys. AMD and Oracle. No audio? Yes. Everything is okay with my audio. Yeah. So today I am streaming for the members of both servers, Crescent's and mine. Yep. So welcome, folks. Yeah, later on today, we have a group call. And for the Crescent's gang, all of the pro investors will be participating in the group call. So I am looking forward to getting together with you guys once again at 7 p.m. Sure. So, what a wild trading session, guys. Total roller coaster ride. I wanted, first of all, to point out what happened today from a technical standpoint in the SPY. And after I've done that, we'll be reviewing individual stocks. So please drop a comment down below and let me know what stocks you want me to go over. So a mixed day today with the Russell 2000 going up 1.38%, the Nasdaq down 0.76%. The S&P 500 was almost about to have a green day, but Trump said something and the markets, he said something about China and the markets dropped. I'm not going to say significantly into the closing bell, but we saw a bit of profit taking. And the Dow Jones went up today 202 points, up 0.44%. If we take a look at the breadth, at the general breadth of the markets, take a look. S&P 500, 391 stocks going up, 112 stocks going down. If we take a look at the Nasdaq 100 or the Qs, better known as the Qs, 63 stocks going up and 38 stocks going down. And in the case of the Russell 2000 or DIWM, look, a very positive breadth, guys. 1,500 stocks going up and 455 stocks going down. If we take a look at these sectors, I haven't taken a look at the sectors today, I think. So most sectors, the trading side, the S&P 500 ended up going up today, led by consumer staples. Someone told me in our Discord that PepsiCo was having a very solid day. And that could be the case. Take a look. Consumer staples, XLP, was the best performing sector today. It went up 1.62%, followed by industrials, up 1.20%. Take a look at the drop, guys, that we had into the closing bell. Take a look. Yeah. So Trump said whatever he said about China at around 3:40 p.m. Maybe someone knew that he was about to say something negative about China. And maybe someone purchased some put options into the closing bell. You never know, right? And the worst performing sector today was technology. XLK down 1.29%. But in general terms, we had a positive day, other than the tech sector, which went down today 1.29%. I think that Nvidia didn't have a good day today. Let me go ahead and check on Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia went down today 4%, guys. So for the most part, Amazon also went down today. I think that Apple also had a negative day. Let me see. Meta also down today. But in the case of Meta trades inside the communication services sector. But yeah, with Nvidia going down along with Amazon, Tesla also went down today, I think. Yeah, it went down as well. So yeah, today the tech sector pulled back. And Today we had a very technical day, guys, that I wanted to point out. So during the trading session today, I was calling out levels of the SPY for the members of my Discord in English, and for the Chris Saints gang, I was calling out the levels on AMD. And the levels that I called out on AMD were accurate. So I've been telling the Chris Saints gang since yesterday about AMD. I even suggested that AMD could have been a potential swing trade opportunity if AMD were able to close yesterday's trading session above $216. That ended up being the case. We'll be reviewing what happened with AMD. But take a look at these guys. And I've been encouraging you to, most of you, to use daily moving averages. Yeah, those are the moving averages that I use. If you have been watching my live streams or my videos on a constant basis, you know that I work with daily moving averages. The 200 in red. In blue, you guys can see the 100-day moving average. In green, this is the 50-day moving average. Keep an eye on this green line, okay? I am about to point out very important information about that 50-day moving average. The 20 in pink, and this is a very important moving average that I always take into account. The 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average. So let me show you something. So this is my Discord in English. Let me go to the channel that I use in order to call out levels of the SPY. And take a look at what happened today, guys. Today, pre-market. So take a look. The first information that I posted today was posted at 6:18 a.m. If you're learning about the indices, if you are actively trading the SPY, the ETF of the S&P 500, you'd better pay attention for what I am about to say. So take a look. Good morning, whatever. I told the members of my Discord, take a look at this. At 8:41 a.m., so, you know, the futures of the main indices were down pre-market, as most of you guys, or all of you guys, should know already, if you keep an eye on the pre-market session. I said the VIX is above 20 points, so most stocks will be following the SPY. This is a very basic concept that some participants in this business don't know. When the VIX rises and the SPY pulls back, I would say that for the most part, 90% of stocks out there are simply tracking the S&P 500, the SPY. Most of you guys should know that. So the VIX rises, the SPY pulls back. If that happens, you cannot think about starting a position on an individual stock without taking a look at the S&P 500, at the SPY. All of you guys should already know that. And I will show you in just a second what I am exactly talking about. So I said $655.35 is today's pivot. If $655.35 breaks, this happened, the door opens for a test of the 50-day moving average. Take a look at this, guys. So where was the 50-day moving average at 8:41 a.m.? It was at $652.10. Take a look at the time at which I posted this information, guys. Then I said, big, huge level. $652.10, which is a level that was coinciding pretty much with the 50-day moving average. So let's reconcile this information with what actually happened during the trading session. So this is a 4-hour chart of the SPY. Let me pull up here a 1-day, 1-minute chart. So take a look at what happened, guys. The trading session started out with the SPY trading at $657 approximately. So the pivot that I pointed out to the members of my Discord to the members of my Discord in English was $655.55. Take a look. This level. Take a look. I said if this level breaks, let me go back to the Discord. The door opens for a test of $652.10. Again, a level that was coinciding with the 50-day moving average. Okay, let's go back to the 1 day 1 minute chart. This level broke to the downside, and take a look at the very quick drop that we saw. Looking for this green line. This green line is none other than the 50-day moving average. Take a look at this. So the SPY bounced almost off this 50-day moving average. Today's low, guys, was $652.95. I cannot be making this up. At 8:45 a.m., I warned the members of my Discord about this level, guys, about this 50-day moving average. I said this is going to be a huge, big level. Look, it pretty much, so the SPY ended up bouncing off this level, pretty much. Why did I say that, guys? So this is an important moving average. It is showing us the average price of the SPY during the last 50 days. It's important. Most of you guys use exponential moving averages, simple moving average, and an exponential moving average on, I don't know, whatever. But the magic of this moving average is that it is signaling the same price regardless of the time frame. So I know for sure that I have a lot of market participants looking at that moving average. And take a look at this. The SPY hasn't traded below the 50-day moving average since early May. So today, we were about to make a test of a rising 50-day moving average that hasn't been visited by the SPY since early May. Take a look at this. I knew that this level was going to be very important, and I warned the members of my Discord about that level. This is a big, huge level. And then we saw a massive bounce. Take a look to the upside. 1 day, 1 minute. So the SPY went from $662.90 ish, pretty much, up to $665.80. This was a 12-buck bounce. Impressive, guys. So the bears were ran over once again. This was a very impressive bounce. And then I said that this pink line, which happens to be the 20-day moving average, as of now, this moving average is signaling $665, and the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average, that is signaling as of now $665.40, were aligned in the sand. Take a look at how, guys, the bulls were not able to sustain price above these two moving averages into the closing bell. And if I pull up here a 5-day, 5-minute chart, take a look at what happened yesterday. Clear failure at the 50-day moving average, and then another clear failure right at the 50-day moving average after hours. So this level is very important, guys. And these two moving averages are extremely important. And then into the closing bell, and I want to point out this information. Take a look. Into the closing bell, what did I say about these two moving averages? Take a look at this information, guys. 12:36 p.m. I said, that's your 5 and 20 DMA coinciding. They were pretty much coinciding at this time, almost 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They just failed out. They just failed up there. Worth noting, I said. Look, worth noting. We were keeping an eye on these two moving averages. They are very important. Then, same stuff here, guys. Above $665.20, which is a level that coincides with the 20 and the 5 DMA, they can keep running. Below, there's a typo here, by the way. Below $665.20, we can't rule out a bit of profit taken. What did happen into the closing bell, guys? The bulls, of course that we can argue that the little drop that we saw into the closing bell had to do with whatever Trump said about China. But I warned about this potential situation. This isn't positive, guys. So today represents the third consecutive trading session with the SPY closing below the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average. Aside from that, the 5 DMA is starting to decline. that implies that potentially in minor time frames, sellers have started to show up here. And therefore, we have to be careful. So from low to high, today we nailed it, guys. We nailed it. We were expecting a bounce at or near the 50-day moving average. That's exactly what happened. Take a look over here. That's what I said pre-market. And then we were expecting the SPY to have a hard time trying to burst above this level. Look. And I think that I actually said that. Let me see. Look, 12 p.m. o'clock. 12 p.m. o'clock. So what level was the SPY trading at 12 p.m.? Let's go see. 12 p.m. Let me see. So when I posted this information, guys, that I'm about to read for you, the SPY was trading at, look, 12 p.m. here. It was trading at $661. What did I say at that time? Let's go see. At 12 p.m., I told the members of my Discord, if the bulls keep pushing, the door opens for a test of $664.50. At that level, the 5 and the 20 DMA are pretty much coinciding. It shouldn't be an easy spot for the bulls if that gap gets actually filled. The rest is history, guys. The rest is history. Good job. Good job. So again, guys, I would encourage you to get familiar with daily moving averages. They matter. They matter. And if you don't have daily moving averages available, then pull up a simple moving average on the daily. In my case, I use the 200, the 100, the 50, the 20, and the 5 DMA. And if we want to talk about the SPY, the bulls have some work to do here, guys. Take a look at this white line. This is the 5-day moving average. This is the 5 DMA. It is going down. It is declining. This is no good for the bulls. So for the SPY, in order to be considered innocent until proven guilty, we need to see the bulls recapturing and being able to consolidate above the convergence of the 5 DMA and the 20-day moving average at $665-ish. Any open of tomorrow's trading session below 665 SPY could be a tricky one. And support-wise, I mean, today we saw a test of we almost saw a test of the 50-day moving average, and the SPY bounced off that level to the penny. So I would say that it could the rising 50 DMA at $653 could be drawing a line in the sand for the burst. We'll see about that. They got run over once again today, guys. Unbelievable. We saw a 12-buck rally off that 50-day moving average. Then again, I warned the members of my Discord about pre-market before the drop took place. Look, here it is, 8:41 a.m. I said that this was a big, huge level. Now, you guys are asking about AMD, so now let's go over Christian's Discord. Many of you guys followed this call out, so let's go take a look at AMD as the first stock that we'll be reviewing today. So Advanced Micro Devices, guys. Today we got good news. And today's news would have given rise to a substantial rally, I would say, if the markets weren't under pressure pre-market. Very good news. So OpenAI ended up announcing that they are actually acquiring AMD chips. That's very good news. On the flip side, Nvidia went down because I am not going to say that AMD is going to be a tough competitor to Nvidia, but the markets didn't like the news. So this was very good news, but the markets were under pressure, and that's why I think that AMD couldn't go way higher. So let's see what I said yesterday, guys, and keep an eye on this level in the case of AMD for my crescents, guys. Let's go see. So yesterday I said into the closing bell, look at this, 3:51 p.m. We saw this movie before, guys. I said, I mean, even before. Let's go see what I said yesterday at 11:47 a.m. AMD is holding $216 like a champ so far. It's a bull case for another bounce towards $224. Then into the closing bell, I reminded you about this level, $216. And I said, we saw this movie before, guys. Not saying it will be the same this time around, but it ended up being the same. But if AMD holds $216, but if AMD holds $216 into the closing bell, it could be potentially signaling a swing trade opportunity. Let's go see what happened, guys. So AMD, let me pull up a 5-minute chart. Take a look. AMD closed yesterday's trading session at $216.89. If you had listened to my call out yesterday, you ended up making very good money today because as soon as the trading session opened, AMD went up to $225, up 4% since yesterday's close. That's it. It is an important level. Why do I say that? Because I'm going to draw a line here and take a look, guys, at how the bulls have been holding $216. Support, support, support once again. The level is important. Actually, we saw AMD pulling back a bit into the closing bell in sympathy with the markets as a whole after, after Trump said whatever he said about China. And I was actually thinking about buying the dip on AMD at $216. Yeah, I gave it a thought. I am guilty as charged. So this is an important level. AMD needs to recapture the 5DMA, the 5-day moving average, $224. If that were the case, the bulls could be gathering momentum in order to make another push higher and maybe fill the next important gap up to $234. The chart looks very good. We got very good news today. Take a look. This is a crude uptrend. I would argue that AMD is 18% of its or above its 20-day moving average. The 20-day moving average of AMD happens to be this pink line that I am pointing out with my mouse. So we can make a case that AMD is a bit extended to the upside, but the stock has very good momentum. We got very good news today. So I wouldn't be surprised to see AMD consolidating above $223 and gathering momentum in order to, why not? Make another push higher, as I just said, up to $235. Say that we open the trading session tomorrow below the 5DMA, which is signaling as of now 224, as I just said. A pullback down to 216 could be an interesting one, could be a buy the dip opportunity, or this previous level of support at $210. It acted as support over here. Take a look. Back on October 8th. Also acted as support on October 10th. And it also acted as support today pre-market. Yeah, because AMD opened the trading session at 217, 218. So these are the levels that I am keeping an eye on AMD. If 210 breaks, that could imply that the 20-day moving average, which is signaling as of now $181, is starting to act like a magnet. Oftentimes, guys, when I mean, this is the method that I use. When I see a stock trading way above its 20-day moving average, say 25% above its 20-day moving average, 30%, 35%, this pink line, the 20 DMA, tends to draw price into it. It starts to act like a potential magnet. So super bullish above 210. Extremely bullish above $223. And let's go see the market structure of AMD. And I would also like to take a look at the IV rank and the IV percentile of AMD. That's also another important information that I usually take into account. So let's go see here, guys. Sorry. The market structure of AMD. Let's go see. So the supply and the demand. I would also like to take a look at an anchor VWAP that comes from the most recent all-time highs. Take a look at this market structure of AMD, guys. This is a market structure chart. What you guys see on top, it represents the demand. Sorry, guys. Represents the demand, buyer. And at the bottom, supply. the demand is represented by the blue shaded region that I am pointing out with my mouse, and the supply or the sellers is at the bottom. So the supply is rising, which isn't necessarily positive, but take a look at the demand, guys. Wow, it's impressive. So this implies that in minor time frames we have way more buyers than sellers for AMD. This could be signaling that the stock is potentially headed higher. Where is an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs? This is my favorite technical indicator, guys. So let me pull it up here, Advanced Micro Devices. And look, guys. So an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs from $238. So AMD went up to $238 back on October 9th. Is signaling as of now $223. So the only buyers that are trapped as of now on AMD above the current price of this stock is they are trapped at $223. This is the very last potential level of resistance for AMD. Above $224, so above the 5-day moving average, this stock could be off to the races, guys. And take a look at the spot at which AMD fell at yesterday, 224, and today, 225. So these buyers have been closing their positions. I mean, the majority of them have been closing their positions or closed their positions yesterday and today. The second AMD got up to their cost average positions. So what happens if AMD burst above $224, $225? Those same buyers that have been selling out of AMD at $225, so those same buyers that as of now represent a supply zone for AMD could start acting as a demand zone, like a potential demand zone. So ideally, guys, the most bullish scenario here for AMD would be a potential process of consolidation above $224. And today I told you guys, take a look. So this is the information that I posted earlier on today. Morning, guys. AMD is so for trying to provide a winning trade. 223, 224 is a profit-taking zone. Take a look. AMD holding 216 once again. Take a look at the time, guys. 10:25. This information was posted on Crescent server, guys. If you didn't make money based on this information, you need to reconsider what you're doing. Or you need to send me, I don't know, what do you want me to do, guys? To take the trade for you? Send me your username and your password so I can get on your, sign in on your account and take the trade for you. Let's go see 10:25 a.m. Look, and that was a joke, of course, right? Yeah, then somebody's gonna, I don't know, maybe sue me. No, you're telling me to send me my username, and sometimes people are stupid. So 1 day, 1 minute. Look, 10:20. Take a look at this. I posted that information here, guys. I told you, AMD. Take a look at the $216. I said here, guys. AMD is holding $216 like a champ here. From $216 until today's high, this represented a 3.47% trade. So you could have made money either following my call out yesterday about AMD potentially closing the trading session above $216, but you could also have, should have been able to make money today from an intraday perspective had you paid attention to Crescent's Discord. Because I said, at 10:25 a.m., AMD holding 216 once again, guys. What a level for this stock. 224, 225 is a gap filled. I mean, yeah, send me your username and your password so I can sign in to your account and take the trades for you. I mean, come on. Give me a freaking break, guys. Okay, so I wanted to take a look. Let me see, guys. There is something there is another factor that we need to take into account. In the case of AMD, let's go see. So AMD was the third hottest table today in the casino with 850,000 contracts traded today. 69% of those contracts were call options. Take a look at the IV percentile, guys. 95%. It is very high. It is a bit high. So ideally, we want to see the IV percentile going lower and AMD potentially holding 224 as support. but with the IV percentile at 95%, I would expect a bit of profit taken here before AMD can actually consolidate above $225. So the IV percentile, guys, for the most part, shows us the percentage of days with the with the implied volatility closing below the current at the money implied volatility over the last 12 months. So that implies that from a nominal basis, and also from an implied volatility standpoint, the contracts of AMD, both calls and puts, are very expensive relative to the last 12 months. And since the stock has been going up, that implies that let's say that the trade that is more expensive now from a bullish or bearish perspective is or are call options. So this is I would like to see the IV percentile of AMD going a bit lower here. Yeah, 95% is a bit high. We could see a bit of profit taking. So I mean, so be it. Go ahead, take profits, and I'm a buyer potentially at 216 or 210. There you go. So they are asking about AVGO Broadcom. Let's go see AVGO Broadcom. What do we see here? It went down today 3.52%, maybe also down on the AMD news that OpenAI is already acquiring AMD chips. Broadcom closed the trading session at $344. I mean, still a very good looking short, guys. Broadcom held as support into the closing bell the 5-day moving average, which is signaling as of now $343, and the 20-day moving average at $340. This level represents a potential interesting support zone, guys. Look, 5 DMA 344, 20 DMA 338. So we have two important moving averages pretty much coinciding. This could be a potential tough level for the bears, and on top of that, $340, $338 is also a previous level of resistance that acted as such on 3 occasions recently. And this is also a previous level of support back from mid-September and also back from early September. This is an interesting level, guys, for AVGO. 338, 340. So say that Broadcom can consolidate or is able to consolidate above $340. That situation could be attracting buyers, and therefore the risk could be to the upside here. Let me take a look at some anchor VWAPs, or let me see where the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs is signaling. Let me see AVGO Broadcom, and there it is. Let's go see. Oh, take a look. So an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs, in the case of Broadcom, is signaling as of now $343. So what message is this AVWAP sending us? Well, that the average market participant that started a position on AVGO back on September 11th, when this stock went up to $373, has an average price as of now of $343. So this is an interesting level for AVGO, 340, 343. We can make a case that above $343, Broadcom doesn't have a lot of buyers trapped above that price, so that could make easier a potential process of appreciation of this stock up to, I don't know. We have some interesting gaps to the upside, $358, or why not all-time highs? $371. Say that this level breaks to the downside, that this potential level of support between 342, 338 breaks to the downside. I would keep an eye on the rising 50-day moving average. Speaking of, guys, the 50-day moving average, a very important moving average. Again, in green, take a look at this. It acted as support 2 days ago. Acted as support to the penny, by the way, on September 2nd. Also acted as support back on August 20th. Take a look at how so far since late April, we've seen 3 different tests of the rising 50-day moving average and buyers have ended showing up and buying the dip, or buyers ended up showing up and buying the dip. So say that this level breaks 342, 338. 323 could be an interesting spot, an interesting level in order to buy the dip on AVGO. Excuse me, guys. I've been speaking, during 8 hours in a row. I need to drink some liquid here. Sorry. So, let me take a look at the market structure of AVGO. Let's go see. Demand and supply. Take a look. The demand is flat and the supply is trying to rise. So ideally, we want to see the demand rising and the supply going down. That isn't the case. But the demand is not going down, which is also positive. We can make a case. So we have like some sort of a tie here between buyers and sellers. So if we cannot figure out who might be in control of minor time frames, when we take a look at a market structure chart, we need to basically rely on the technical chart. And the technical chart says that as long as the bulls of AVGO can sustain price above $343, the risk could be to the upside. There you go. That was a very in-depth analysis of AVGO. Let's go take a look at Nvidia. NVDA. Take a look. So, down today on the AMD news, which I don't think is necessarily bad news for Nvidia, but that's a topic for a different discussion, for another day, I guess. So Nvidia went down today 4.40%, and it closed the trading session at $180. Okay, guys, where did Nvidia found support at today and yesterday? What that green line is representing? I just told you, but I'm asking. Let's make this live stream a bit more interactive. I cannot be making this up. A 50-day moving average. That is right, Sui. That is right, Sui. To the F penny. Take a look at what has happened, guys. Every single time since early May that this 50-day moving average has been broken to the downside. Buyers have stepped in and they have bugged the dip. Look here, broken, recaptured. Broken, recaptured. Acted as support here. This was back in late September. Acted as support to the penny 2 days ago, and today it acted as support once again. So that implies, guys, for the most part, that the markets are keeping an eye on the price action of the last 50 trading sessions, guys. As a whole. I mean, forget about the SPY. So the markets are seeing a buy the dip opportunity at the average price of most securities out there of their last of the last 50 trading sessions. Can you guys see that? Ryan, do you know what's the magic of this moving average? That it shows me the same price regardless of the time frame. Look, let's take a look at that. So the 50-day moving average of Nvidia is signaling on a 4-hour chart, it is signaling $179. And I wonder, what price would this 50-day moving average be at on a 5-day, 5-minute chart? Oh, $179.40. But I also wonder, what price would be this 50-day moving average signaling on a 1-day, 1-minute chart? Let's go see. Oh, what a coincidence. $179.40. But I wonder, what price would this 50-day moving average be signaling on a 1-hour chart? Oh, what a coincidence. $179.40. So if you don't have daily moving averages available, you need to take a look at a simple moving average on a daily chart, and that's it. But again, guys, what do we use technical indicators for? So what is the purpose of using technical indicators? If I may ask, let's try to think about this from a logical perspective. So why do we use technical indicators? What is the purpose of this? So ideally, guys, we want to use technical indicators that are commonly used by the vast majority of market participants. So if I use an exponential moving average on the 2-hour chart, a 37 exponential moving average on a 2-hour chart, how many people are looking at that moving average? I got the answer, only a few. So what we want to do with a technical indicator is using technical indicators that are commonly used by the vast majority of market participants, so I can have some degree of certainty that when I am thinking about starting a position at a 50-day moving average, I know that since this is a commonly used technical indicator, I know that that increases the likelihood to have a lot of market participants looking at the same information. But you guys use an exponential moving average on a 21-hour chart, a 17 exponential moving average. This is something to think about, guys. Sometimes trading has to do with common sense. And sometimes I can be a bit rude, so I apologize for that. Okay, so we can tell, guys, not only when we look at Nvidia, but when we look at other stocks as well, that the markets are keeping an eye on the average price of most securities out there based on the last 50 trading sessions. If that trend remains, so a very important level for Nvidia is going to be $180. It's important. So say that Nvidia opens the trading session tomorrow below $180. If this is negative, yeah, this could be attracting sellers. So from a strict technical standpoint, the chart doesn't look very good because Nvidia closed today's trading session below the 5-day moving average and below the 20-day moving average. So we can make a case that buyers have some work to do here. For me, in order to say that Nvidia is innocent until proven guilty, I need to see buyers stepping in, showing strength, and being able to bring Nvidia above $187, which is a level that coincides with the 5-day moving average. So I would be a bit cautious, let's just put it that way, on Nvidia below $187. But there could be a trade to the upside here, guys. There could be a trade here to the upside. So say that I see Nvidia opening the trading session tomorrow above the 50-day moving average, and that situation coincides with the SPY holding an important level of support. There could be a trade to the upside up there, guys. Or at that level, let's just put it that way. Because we can tell that the 50-day moving average is an important level for the bulls here. So below $180, this could be a short opportunity. Holding $180, Nvidia could be attracting buyers into this technical chart. Let me take a look at the market structure of NVDA. And some of you guys are asking about Oracle. Yep. We can go and take a look at Oracle. So take a look, guys. The market structure doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. On top, the demand, buyers. At the bottom, supply, sellers. The demand is going down, guys, and the supply is starting to rise. We can easily reconcile this market structure chart with this 4-hour chart. Why is it? Because Nvidia is trading below the 5 DMA. So we can tell, guys, that sellers have started to show up here. You have to approach with caution. Yeah, be careful here, guys. So extremely important level for Nvidia at this rising 50-day moving average. It is rising, by the way, the 50-day moving average. The slope of a moving average is very important. So ideally, we want to see this stock holding $180 as support below $180 with the SPY going down. Be careful because maybe we have lower prices on deck for Nvidia. If that were the case, where could buyers be showing up below 180? We have $174, guys, a previous level of resistance, maybe down here. Yeah. Can we take a look at Amazon? Of course we can take a look at Amazon. It's been getting hammered recently. Where is the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs of Nvidia located at? Let me see. Yeah, Amazon has been getting killed. But today, it was affected because we got news. We got news about Walmart and OpenAI. Because now OpenAI, guys, is starting partnerships with pretty much every single company out there, right? So a bit before the trading session started out, we got news about a partnership with Walmart and OpenAI, and the algos went nuts selling out of Amazon. So an anchor VWAP of Nvidia that comes from all-time highs is signaling $185. I think that level, $185, is actually pretty much coinciding with the 5 DMA. The 5-day moving average is signaling $186. So in case of a bounce, we could expect potential Nvidia to have a hard time at trying to burst above $186. Why is it? Because at $185, $186-ish, we have the convergence of the 5-day moving average with the buyers that are trapped as of now with unrealized losses on Nvidia from all-time highs. And there goes your Nvidia analysis. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at Amazon. And let me ask, who of you guys is attending the group call today, later on today? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a very, very tough time for me to do a group call. But apparently the people from the West Coast have been complaining about the time of the group calls. So, I'll be there at 7 p.m. I have to, I'm going to be running on fumes by that time, but it's okay. I have to make an effort here. Yeah. So Amazon, down today 1.67%, and it closed the trading session at $216.39. Guys, take a look at this red line, $214. This is the last line of defense for the bulls. Why is it? You may ask. Take a look at this red line. This is none other than the 200 DMA, the 200-day moving average. If this 200 DMA breaks, this is good night, Irene, for Amazon. Have you listened? Have anyone listened to that song? Good night, Irene? I guess that, somebody did. That's a classic, guys. So, if Amazon breaks this 200-day moving average to the downside, the burst band is going to be playing Good Night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I see you in my dreams. So, the very last line of defense for the bulls. Take a look. So, Amazon hasn't traded below the 200-day moving average since early May. I think I know it. Okay, play it, Zui. Go ahead and play it. It's kind of a sad song. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, so Amazon breaks $214 to the downside, and the burst band will start playing Good Night, Irene. Very, 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 very negative for Amazon, guys. So this 200 DMA acted as support today. It did it yesterday, and let me see if it did it. And take a look. Yeah, it also did it in late May. So this is a potential spot at which buyers could be showing up. So say that we see Amazon consolidating or potentially consolidating or being able to consolidate above $215. This could be attracting buyers into this very ugly looking technical short, and maybe I mean, we could take a shot here, maybe from $214 up to the 5 DMA, $221. This could represent a 2.81% profit trade. 215, 221. Yeah. Below $214, guys, with the SPY and the Qs going down and the VIX rising. I am sorry to say that this could be a short trade opportunity. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Things aren't looking good for Amazon here, guys. But well, I mean, this is the last line of defense for the bulls, so we'll see what happens. Sorry, guys. Over that 200 DMA. I would say, but I would think that the market structure of Amazon is looking ugly. Let's go see if that is the case. Yeah, take a look. So the demand is flat. It isn't going down. It is neither going up or down. So we'll say that it remains neutral. But take a look at the supply, guys, sellers. It is rising. And the level of the supply is way above the level of the demand. So, yeah, this could get ugly, huh? Let me see, where is the anchor VWAP that comes from the April's low of Amazon. AMZN. Oh, sorry, guys. AMZN. Wow. Take a look at these, guys. Wow, it's impressive. So, an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs for Amazon. So Amazon went up to $242 back on early February, and an anchor VWAP that comes from the April's low of for Amazon. So Amazon went down to $161 in early April. So these two anchor VWAPs are pretty much coinciding between $211 and $209. So say that Amazon breaks that 200 DMA at $214 to the downside, maybe there could be a bounce of this anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So at these two levels, we have buyers with what? With winning positions. Yeah, they are making money, not a lot. They are kind of, scared as of now, but they could be potentially defending price if Amazon actually pays a visit down to this level, guys. This is a potential support zone, 210, 211. So 214 breaks, which I just said that was the very last line of defense for the bulls. So let's lower that line a bit, guys. Yeah, let's lower that line. And make no mistakes, guys. If Amazon breaks that 200 DMA to the downside, is very negative. But slightly below that 200 DMA, we have the convergence of the anchor VWAP that comes from the April low and the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So 210. If Amazon breaks to $210 to the downside, then yeah, the burst band will be playing good night Irene. There you go. And there goes your Amazon analysis. It isn't looking good at all. And something that catches my eye, guys. So we are in the midst of a super strong artificial intelligence bull market. And take a look at this, guys. So the message that the net aggregate opinion of the market is sending us is not a good one in regard to Amazon. Why do I say that? Because again, we are in the midst of a super bull market for artificial intelligence related stock, and that is the case of Amazon, of course, because of Amazon Web Services. And so far, guys, Amazon is down year to date 5%. This is very negative. And I know that all of you guys love the company. I think that this is also a phenomenal company as well. But the message that we are getting from the technical short is a bit concerning. Yeah, this is the only Magnificent 7 stock that is down year to date. So sometimes, guys, you need to zoom out and try to understand the message that the net aggregate opinion of the markets is sending you. And in the case of Amazon, I don't know. Maybe the markets are up to something. I don't know. Maybe that is the case. Let's go ahead and take a look at Oracle, ORCL. And we are, let me see. It's been a long day for me, guys, per usual. 54 minutes in. There you go. Hopefully, most of you guys like the live stream. So for earnings are coming up in a week. Not a week, actually. Let me double check on that. Now, by the way, guys, this is a question that I am getting on my from our Discord in English. Yeah. Yeah, from Sasha. Sashank. There you go. Let me see now. Amazon. The one that is reporting next week is Netflix. But Amazon must be reporting like 2 weeks out, I guess. October 28th. Yeah. It reports on October 28th. Can we see a front running into the report? Maybe. But I don't know, guys. It's a bit concerning. I gotta tell you, it's a bit concerning. How would you explain this, guys? Why, in the midst of a super hyped artificial intelligence bull market, why is Amazon down year to date? It's weird. It's a bit weird. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Oracle. So it went down today 2.93% and it closed the trading session at $299. Holding the 5 and the 20-day moving average. These two moving averages are pretty much coinciding at $297. Previous level of support back from mid-September. Previous level of resistance back from early October. So as long as Oracle can sustain price above $298, the risk could be to the upside. That could imply that the bulls are gathering momentum in order to make another push higher. And if that were the case, we have several potential gaps to the upside. $310, $320, $332. I am curious about an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs for Oracle. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me see. ORCL. Look. I cannot be making this up. So an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs for Oracle is signaling as of now $304. Sorry, $303. Let's reconcile that anchor VWAP with this technical chart, this 4-hour chart, and take a look. So from $296 up to $304, there could be a tiny gap over there to the upside. And say that Oracle can burst or is able to burst above $303, slightly above that level. We have $308, which is a level at which the bulls of Oracle have been struggling at. Take a look. Previous level of resistance back from late September. Also a previous level of resistance back from 2 days ago. So ideally, we want to see Oracle trading or being able to consolidate above $308. And from $296, which is the level that is coinciding with the 5 and the 20-day moving average, up to $304, that could be a tiny gap to the upside. At $304, we know that the average market participant that started positions in Oracle from all-time highs is located at as of now. So that level represents a potential level of overhead supply above the current price of Oracle. And from $304 up to $308, we also have another tiny potential gap to the upside that could get filled. So ideally, guys, and if you're very bullish on Oracle, you want to see this stock trading above $308. This push from $296 up to $308 could be a tough one with an anchor VWAP that comes from all-time high. That comes from all-time high right in the middle of these two levels, 308, 295. But the 5-day moving average in white is starting to rise, so that is positive. And I don't know, in case of a pullback, I would be interested in seeing Oracle making a test of $271. That is a level that would be coinciding, if that were the case. I mean, if we see a test of $271 in the upcoming 2 or 3 trading sessions, if that were the case, that level would be coinciding with the rising 50-day moving average that I personally might be interested in buying. And by the way, we have an ongoing event of Oracle. We have an event that started today, but that is going to be taking place for the next 2 days. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a high executive of the company It could be potentially pumping up the stock. That could be the case. So to the downside, 271 could be a level of interest support-wise. And ideally, we want to start the position here with Oracle showing strength, and being able to consolidate above $308. The path from 296-ish up to 308 could be a tough one because we have 308, or we can tell that $308 has been acting as a tough level of resistance, and at around $304 we have the anchor VWAP that comes from all-time highs. So that's a very in-depth analysis of Oracle. Let me take a look at the market structure of ORCL. Let's go see Oracle. And come on, bro. I'm surprised that no one asked about Papa Palantir. Yeah, the market structure looks very good, guys. The demand is rising. Remember, demand buyers, or demand means buyers, and the supply is going down. This is a very good market structure short. Very good. So, and it coincides, by the way, with the rising 5 DMA. So, yeah, maybe from 296, the door opens for 308. But ideally, we want to see Oracle bursting above $308. And it's an hour, guys. Yeah. Let's call it a live stream. Yeah, I have a lot to do. Yet I will be seeing most of you guys once again in an hour and 30 minutes, because we have a group call. And for the members of Chris Saint's Discord, I'll be there today. I have to run an extra mile to be over there with you guys at 7 p.m. But well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And keep an eye on my call outs. No, I cannot have a beer today, Zui. I can't, because I am going to be getting in a group call with you in an hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, I have to be like super focused and stuff. I know. After the group call, I will be having a beer for sure. Thanks, guys, and congrats on the AMD and SPY profits today. Good job. Keep it up. After that, I will, yeah. Take care, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.